Welcome back to r/LegalAdvice, where we read surprisingly interesting stories that usually don't end in a cliffhanger. If you are new to my channel, please feel free to subscribe to join our awesome community, and without any further ado, let's dive right in. And the first one is titled, "Company car I was driving was hit by a drunk driver. Insurance fully paid for the car, but the company says I still owe them $40,000. I was on my way home from work in my company car when I was hit almost head on by a drunk driver. He was found at fault by the police and the insurance company and was charged and convicted. His insurance settled with the company and gave them a payout to replace the car, which the company lawyer accepted. I am still off work recovering from my injuries and I probably won't be back for 3 more months. Last month I received a letter from the company stating that I owed them the cost of the car because I was the one responsible for it when it was totaled and written off. I thought it was a mistake or something, so I called the insurance company, got written confirmation of the settlement and sent it into them with a note that the car had already been paid for by the insurance company. Now they have sent me to a collection agency and I have debt collectors calling saying I owe them $40,000. I live in California. Do I call the insurance company to let them know, or do I need to get a lawyer? Is them calling the debt collector even legal? Sorry if these questions are stupid, but I am already stressed enough from trying to recover and this has just made it worse." And a user in the comments mentioned if they've already been compensated for the loss of the vehicle through the insurance carrier, they cannot double dip and then request that you pay them. Obtain the company's insurance information and call the adjuster to see if you can find out whether the company was paid for the claim connected with your accident. Look at your contract if you have one. See what it says about vehicles and liability. If this is having a negative impact on your credit rating, call the credit reporting agencies and also send them a letter notifying them of an error in their reporting. And I gotta say, once again, that is very solid advice. And guys, I'm curious, do you drive a company vehicle? As you might know, I'm not really a big car guy, but my sister has a very nice company vehicle, a BMW, and the company even pays for her gasoline. I definitely wouldn't say no to that. Update to the company car story from before. Original post here, the too long didn't read version is that I was almost killed by a drunk driver while I was driving a company car. His insurance paid the blue book value, $40,000, to the company, but I was sent to collections and told that I owed them $40,000 for the car because I did not return it to them in the condition which they gave it to me. No one at the company or the collections agency would help me and they just sent me back and forth. Company told me to talk to collections, collections told me to talk to the company, so I ended up getting a lawyer because the stress of being hounded by collections was setting back my recovery. The lawyer sent a very strongly worded letter to someone high up that I could not reach myself because I kept getting the runaround. That person did not know anything about it and the company launched an investigation. The 3 people who kept giving me the runaround ended up being charged with fraud and a bunch of other stuff. I don't know much, but the police say they have emails and they think the 3 were planning on keeping the payment for themselves since the company was already paid. They are also in trouble for fraudulently using company resources to send me to collections for a fake debt. Afterwards, my company wrote me a letter of apology. They paid the cost for my lawyer and made sure the debt was removed from my record. They also made a donation to a charity of my choice. I am nearly ready to return to work, but they told me to take as much time as I need. After talking with the police, I believe the higher-ups were not aware because the police say the 3 were trying to keep it a secret. The drunk driver's insurance is paying all my bills related to the incident, so I won't have debt from this ever. Well, let's say that is a sort of wholesome ending. However, I'm curious, would you still be working for that company after all this happened? Let us know in the comments, and while you're at it, please don't forget to post some star emojis in the comments and also like the video if you want to support me. Thank you very much in advance. And the next one is titled, "Kid put his stuff in my yard, ran over it with my lawnmower, mom wants me to pay." So my yard goes pretty close to the neighbor's concrete pad where they have a basketball court set up. Neighborhood kids always go there to play and usually leave their bikes and things on my grass. It's not that big of a deal, except I have had to ask them to move their stuff several times when I am mowing. This is the first time I have mowed this year and the grass is a few inches higher than it should be. Anyway, a kid comes over and I am mowing, but he still puts the basketball he brought with him down in my grass. I get to the basketball and just decide I can nudge it with the front of the mower and out of the way. I made eye contact with the kid several times waiting for him to move it before I got there and he never did, so I figured, whatever, it will roll. Well, I bump it with my mower to a section of mower grass, and as I continue forward past where it was, there was a loud clunking and crackling like I had just run over a rock. The rock turned out to be his iPhone. He was upset obviously that his phone was broken and I did feel bad, but my thought was that he should have said something or moved it before I got there. He goes home and about 30 minutes later his mom shows up and tells me I broke it and I am responsible for replacing it, that I should have told him to move his stuff because I am the adult. I tell her I'm sorry about the phone and politely decline her request. She just says, "I promise you will be paying for it," and then storms off. I'm not really sure what her next course of action is or what she plans to do. She mentioned something about she has a friend that is a lawyer, so I guess she could take me to civil court. Am I legally responsible for replacing the phone? Would it be cheaper than court costs if she did choose to take me to court? And a user in the comments said, in regards to legally responsible for replacing the phone, it would be very unlikely for a court to make you pay. You could not see the phone and had no reason to assume that someone else's phone was hidden in your yard. The son was the one who acted negligently in leaving their phone hidden in tall grass. In fact, if you wanted to, you could probably sue for and win the cost of repairing any damage to your lawnmower. That is worth mentioning if your neighbor brings it up again. Also, you should check your lawnmower blades for damage even if you don't plan to sue. It could be dangerous to continue using that lawnmower. A blade could snap off and hurt someone. In regards to, would it be cheaper than court costs if she did choose to take me to court? The person says, if she sues you, it will probably be in small claims court where each party must represent themselves without a lawyer. It will only cost you your time to defend yourself. Edit, I was wrong about no lawyers. Still, I would not worry about that. She would probably pay more than the cost of the phone if she tried to hire one. And guys, I'm curious, have you ever been to this small claims court? If you did, how did it work out? And why did you have to go there? Let us know in the comments. And meanwhile, if you were the OP in the story, what would you choose to do? Update to the kid's story from before. I thought I would update you all since so many people offered advice in the original post yesterday. Brief summary of what happened: neighborhood kid left his phone in my grass while I was mowing and I mowed it by mistake. The mother got upset and demanded I pay for it. Well, she, the mother and son showed up at my door around noon and apologized. She said that she misunderstood what happened and thought I had done it on purpose to teach her son a lesson about leaving his stuff in my yard. I guess he explained to her it was his fault, which I thought was commendable for someone his age. She told me that she just stressed about it because she is a single mother and does not really have the means to replace it at the moment, and that if it was anything else she probably would not have gotten so upset, but he likes hanging out with other kids and that is how she keeps track of him. I told her about my spare iPhone 7, his was a 6S. I also took the advice of some of the commenters that it might be damaging to just give it to him and that I should perhaps have him work for it. I have a detached garage and have been needing to clean it, and told her if he wanted to help me I would give him the phone. He instantly looked excited. I imagine he felt like he would never get a new phone, and she acted very grateful and said he could help. Left and came back an hour later, just the son this time, and we got started cleaning. Took about 4 hours, a lot of work, but nothing too hard. He's just 12. I had a couple cords of firewood I wanted moved out and stacked into a rack, and then a bunch of boxes I cut up and had him bag and carry to the curb. He swept, had a Coke and a couple slices of pizza, then got his phone. I had a talk with him about paying attention to where his things are because it won't always work out like this. I also told him if he wants to mow my yard every weekend and his mom says he can, I will pay him $30 a week. It will probably take him a couple hours. He again acted excited at the thought of making money, and when I asked him what he would spend it on, he said games. We figured out new games would be about $60 and worked it out that I would pay him $20 for 3 weeks and then $65 on the 4th week so he could cover tax because it might be hard for him to save. And the 4th week he will do an extra little chore to cover the $5 like sweep off the porch or walkway. I hope I've done the right thing and didn't make him think that everything just works out, but I did my best to have him earn it. And hopefully showed an equal measure of kindness that he will carry with him. I also did not want the mother to stress over replacing the phone, as my mom was also a single mother and I know how tough it can be. My own son is just 2, so it was my first real opportunity to pass on some fatherly wisdom, which I hope is what I did. Thanks for your input everyone, I really appreciate it. To be honest, as someone who's not from the US, I'm sort of wondering about the statement from the OP where he said, so he could cover tax. Does that mean that little kids have to pay tax on the little money they earn by doing chores like mowing the lawn? If you know more about this, please let me know in the comments. The next one is titled, My sister, female 22, ripped up my, female 19, Stan Lee autograph and I have not forgiven her even if my mom, 46 female, is pressuring me to for family's sake. I made a post yesterday but forgot my password so I made a new alt. Okay, so I'm a huge Marvel nerd, the kind of nerd that cosplays, goes to cons and draws her own stuff, mostly fan service. By the way guys, quick question in between, have you ever done cosplay? And if you did, what kind of character did you cosplay? Let us know in the comments. Anyway, my sister ridicules my hobby, saying that it is pathetic and stupid. She claims I am delusional as a grown woman playing dress up. Besides that, we have a good relationship, we are not friends but sisters if that makes sense. So, 3 years ago, I managed to save up enough to go to a con in the USA and meet the real Stan Lee. He signed one of my own pictures I did of the big 3 and complimented it. It was one of the best days of my life, since then the signed picture has always been on my wall. Flash forward, a few weeks ago my sister asks for my jacket and I tell her no. Reason being, she was a bitch to me the whole week. She pouted and I left the house. When I come back I see my effing Stan Lee autograph ripped up on the floor. I effing lost it. Then my sister came in and started teasing me, "Look at that grown-ass woman crying over a piece of paper." When she saw that I was for real distressed, she started saying that it was just a piece of paper, that I can get a new one. I pushed her out of my room and have been extremely short with her since. She tries to engage in conversation, but I shoot her down. She tries to bribe me with movie tickets and I tell her to go with her boyfriend, etc. She has not apologized for it, she just says that I should be over it by now. My mom says the same, she says the materialistic things should not come in between family and that I should simply let it go. My dad is also really mad at sister and by extension mom. He's as big on Marvel as me and he was livid when he found out. This whole ordeal is literally splitting our family apart. My mother and sister think I am being unfair by not letting go and I think they both disrespected me. Mom is mad at dad for not talking sense into me and taking my side. And dad is mad at mom for failing to punish my sister and spoiling her. I feel awfully guilty but also raging mad. Can someone help me with this? Edit. Thank you guys for listening to me, I feel a lot better. I will take what many of you said and I'm going to send them examples of how much Stan Lee's autograph costs. But I think I have to word it very good so that they don't think that I would split up the family over money. Update. Thanks for the support, my dad and I found someone that restored pictures and we are taking my piece to it. Dad is going to use part of the money he was going to gift my sister for her car down payment. As you can imagine, sister threw a fit and is staying with mom at my grandparents now. And a user in the comments said she cannot replace it, but the sister needs to get a Stan Lee autograph as step 1. The mom can help out since she decided to get involved as well. And guys, I'm curious, do you have a sort of crush on any celebrity? And do you have any autographs from that person? Let us know in the comments. And also, I would love to know how you would handle this situation. Honestly, if someone would tear up the autograph of a celebrity I like, I would be extremely mad. Therefore, I can definitely understand where the OP is coming from. And now the update to the Stan Lee story from before. Thanks for the great advice. So, a lot has happened after mom and sister left and we took the money that was meant for my sister's car's down payment for the restoration. My grandma called me and asked what was happening. I explained to my grandma what happened and tried explaining who Stan Lee was. Surprisingly, she understood just perfectly. I was relieved. For a moment I thought that my dad and I would get shit from everyone. My sister started giving me shit about telling our grandma and being a snitch. I told her that she asked me and I just told the truth. But what took the cake was that my sister apparently ranted in her friend group chat about me and how she could not understand my behavior. She again ridiculed my hobby and so on. One of the dudes was really pissed and they had a big argument in the GC. The dude was so mad that he posted the screenshots in his Insta story and they spread like wildfire. She's now being ostracized by our community with a few exceptions. My mom and sister came back in the morning. They did not talk much to us. My mom came in my room and asked if we found someone that restored the picture. We had a short dry conversation till she asked me why I was making such a big deal about it. And I shut her up like you guys told me to. I started by explaining who Stan Lee was, how long the painting took me, how much it meant to me, equated it to the monetary value and ended it with, it is not only about the autograph, it is about the disrespect you both showed me and how little you seemed to care about me. You said that it was not worth it to destroy family over materialistic things, but your daughter destroyed my most valuable possession because I did not lend her my jacket. Y'all, my mom cried. She apologized profusely. She said she just didn't know how to deal with it and just wanted the tension to be over, and as I was more cool-headed than my sister, she selfishly expected me to be the bigger person. My mom and dad are now talking to my sister very seriously because she has yet to apologize for everything. And the last one is titled, How much of a douche can I be to a random person that might be pretending to be me? I am an early adopter. My name at pretty much any email service ends up in my email box. My name is an uncommon one and most people that share it are at least distant relatives of mine, so I try to be nice. I figure out where it goes at my own expense and forward it on. With the exception of a 92-year-old man in Arizona who did not quite grasp I was not his grandchild when I called him, my strategy has worked well for the last 20 years. He still thinks I am his granddaughter and I've just forwarded it to her. However, over the last 6 months, someone has been using my name and email to sign up for things and I have not been able to reach him. Facebook, FedEx, utility service notifications, health insurance, the state commercial division, car insurance, county tax service, state tax assessor. I've sent 3 letters, 1 certified, and this guy still keeps signing up for things with my email address. Yesterday he signed up for a new cellular account, so I finally have his phone number. I called it, asked for my name, and was told, "Yeah, speaking." Me, "Hi, this is my name from Los Angeles, California. You've been using my email." Click. I called back. Me, "Hi, this is my name again. We need to talk about you using my email address." Him, "Effing noob, it's mine." I could be a real effing noob. I can lock him out of Facebook, shut off his phones and power, cancel his car and health insurance, redirect his packages to Abu Dhabi and put him on the hook for any imagined value I send to the state tax agencies. But how much of a cunt am I legally allowed to be? And a user in the comments said, on a practical level, make sure that your email account is secure, make sure that all of the account recovery options are ones that you set up. I met someone who was an early employee at Google and his account name is a 4-letter common name at google.com and he seems to get signed up for lots of stuff. According to Barnes & Noble, he has 103 children. Guys, feel free to let us know in the comments if something similar has ever happened to you. I guess if you have a really common name, something like this might not be too uncommon. Update to the douche story from before. Sorry, I'm not sure what I'm doing wrong. I tried once and my post did not appear, so I guess I did something wrong by reusing the old title, so I will try again. Tried to make this one look just like other updates. It took angry and petty behavior, but my problem has been solved. Around 8 hours after I posted the original, I got an email from UPS. He tried to reset the password on an account but could not do it thanks to not supplying the right email address. I called to tell him, and in the middle of it he hung up on me. A few hours later I got an email from his car insurance company telling me he was eligible for a discount. I called and read around 10 words from the email before he hung up. He did not tell me to stop calling, so I just kept at it. Every email meant a phone call, and he kept hanging up after hearing the first few words. It took over a dozen calls, but he eventually listened and we talked for a bit. I think reading out his SSN had something to do with it, but hearing what I could do with his accounts was the real kicker to the deal. He agreed he could not keep using my email address, and I offered to set one up for him. Our names are close and I own a lot of variations on my name, so first@middlelast.com and first@middlelast.com are now his, and they all forward to each other. He also gave me permission to change the accounts over for him, which was nice. I just got off the phone with his car insurance company, pretending to be him, which is a stretch. I got his email address changed and a new password sent out. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's content, and if you did, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel to join our amazing community. Furthermore, don't forget to go to r/ripestories on Reddit to post your own stories if you want me to read them out in a video. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I see you again tomorrow.